You know, so as we slowly run out of these non-renewable energies, we're going to be getting rid of the neutron. You won't see that anymore. It'll just be gone. We're going to switch over to hydrogen. You know, it's one of the most powerful, most abundant things that we have on this planet. I think it's time. You know, we're going through all these changes. It's time to switch over to hydrogen. You know, it's going to take every American to do that. You know, I'm talking about going from wind, solar, electricity, rocks, water. You know, we're going to have it like the old days. Endless amounts of power. And you got to remember, the oil pressure in the Arab-rich nations, the oil fields is dropping at an alarming rate. The oil pressure is going faster than we previously calculated. You know, think about that. We're faced with the fact that the oil will most likely be shut off to us and decreased in production in the near future at least. So we're going to have to switch over to the hydrogen systems, you know. And you can use my oxy-hydrogen setup like this, or you can switch over to a hydrogen separation system where you separate these two gases. And they are precious. That's what the whole idea was about, you know, switching over to simple stuff like rocks and wind. And, you know, there's no pollution like this. You know, we have the technology now. There's no excuse. That's what this power plant was all about. You know, I had industrial ideas. I wanted to make sure everybody else had this. So, you know, when I'm gone, you guys have to pick up this technology and take off with it, you know? Think about that. Every child knows that you can't dig something out of the ground forever and expect it to still be there. You know, these non-renewables are on the way out, and you see it. It's us or them. You know, so now's your chance, ladies and gentlemen. You get away from these media snakes, those lion snakes. You see them, I see them. Get away from all that. Get away from these non-renewable energies, you know. Save your home, save your life. Switch over to hydrogen. Gotta get away from these guys. These guys are evil. You're gonna spend the rest of your life driving around on dinosaur farts? I mean, come on. Please. Go ahead and switch over to a hydrogen society. You go live underwater like this. Imagine how cool that would be. I mean, the fish would be looking in at you. You'd be the fish tank. You know, so this stuff works underwater too. You gotta remember that. There's an entire world out there. We're being selfish. The world's being selfish. We're being stupid. We need to straighten up. Everybody. Even the big wheels at the top. The little guy too. Everybody. Just think of what we could have. Think how cool that would be. I was playing a game the other day and it was called Subnautica, and in the game you're living underwater and it's so cool to build underwater and swim around and see nature. I mean, we could do that with this fuel. You could really do that. So it really didn't matter who your God was, or what color you were, or what country you lived in. It's very important that we all end up with safe, clean energy. That's what's important here. Now I know you're probably saying the game is rigged and we'll never win. Well, of course the game is rigged, but that's what makes it so fun, guys. That's why I like making these videos. You know, we're all after the same thing. You know, it'd be too easy if the elites failed on the first day. So I like to think of the atoms kind of like a Rubik's Cube. Think about this. If you look at this oxygen atom right here, and the more you mess with the nucleons, the nucleus, normally it has 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 8 neutrons. Okay, that's normally how that atom's set up. But if you change the number of that nucleus, that's what's happened to these uranium atoms, and that's why they're so radioactive. They're highly unstable. It's like this Rubik's Cube right here. Think about it. I like to think of it as Rubik's Cube. And the more you spin this cube, okay, and the more I mess with the nucleus, and the longer it takes you to get it back together again. It takes a long time for this to turn all the way back into normal again, the way it was. To go back to stability where it reaches a stable state. You know, so if you guys want to settle for like a lesser fuel, something that pollutes, something that's dirty, something that stinks, that's up to you. You know, that's your own personal choice. You know, I didn't want to take that route. I thought hydrogen was the best way to go. And if you look right here in this image, you can see we could have our cities underwater. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of real estate out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just on the land, you know. We can go out into space and under the sea, right here in inner Earth. I mean, look at the real estate. You know, it's unclaimed, it's available, it's out there, you know. We can take our homes and live underwater. I mean, most of you guys are probably going to be drowning and dead anyways after this dilemma. The home is already underwater. Just something I was thinking about. We should already be there. You know, back when I used to watch the Jetsons and cartoons and things like that, I thought by now we would already be living in a civilization like that. You know, NASA sold us out. I hate to say it, you know. It's very disappointing. But you know, the ocean's out there. We can all go there. That's a place for all of us Americans. We'll go right out in the ocean. No, we're not doing so well on land right now. Maybe we'll just go out there. So we're going to use some of this alien HHO technology from the past to get our homes out in the ocean. And see, look at that. Look how much room is out there, everyone. See, this technology works underwater, not just in space. So see, there's enough room for everyone out there. It's like a whole nother United States. So we're going to have some expanding out there, some social expanding. That's what we're going to do. You take a look at some of these elements right here. Let me show you this. This is europium. This is what I'll be working with here real soon. I'm going to show you what I'm using it for. So you can go back and read that. It tells you a little bit about it. So this stuff glows when it's stimulated by ultraviolet light. If you want to buy some of this, you can get it from United Nuclear. That's where I got it. This is europium-based strontium phosphorus. So it's really powerful stuff. It's not like the stuff you had when you were a kid. So we're going to be working with this today. It's just another element. Let me show you phosphorus in here. These are really important elements. And right there is europium on the table of elements. You can see it. Phosphorus is over here somewhere. Where is it? It's element number 15. There it is. See, and you find these elements using their atomic number. Number 15. It has 15 protons in its nucleus. 15 nucleons. Think about that. So we're going to use the pulsar reactor to use these reactor rods to make electricity. Because what happens when you pull these things away from the light, they continue to glow. And then you could sandwich all that material in between solar panels and generate electrical power. So think about that. Let me show you how it works here. It's hard to do with one hand. But just so you get the idea. This is how it would work. You know, just fooling around, I noticed the heat from the hydrogen flame excites it. See? Give you an idea how it works. It's the element phosphorus. Go back and read this. So this stuff is super fun. You need to get your hands on as much of this as you can. You can get this at United Nuclear from good old Bob Lazar. And Bob Lazar, he's kind of a weird guy. You know, he works with hydrogen. He scams a little, he tells some truth, but he's pretty cool. You can get this at his website. I mean, this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is like alien technology if you use it properly. Think about that. Get you some UV reactors going where you slide these rods in the reactor, and then when you pull them out, you can put them in your solar panel areas. Start making electricity. Or you can just use this light like it is on your spacecraft. Think about that. You know, I'm just charging it up for a second, but if you put this in a reactor with a UV light like this for hours at a time, when you take it out, imagine how bright it's going to be. You know, while we're on the subject, I might as well throw this in there. Ultraviolet light is like a germicide. It's right outside the visible spectrum there. So you can kill viruses and bacteria using ultraviolet spectrum. A lot of people don't know that. So light's a powerful thing, and once you have light, there's nothing you can't do. Because when you have light, you can make photons using the photoelectric effect, using solar panels. Think about that, and you create DC powered electricity. And once you have that, you can create an endless amount of chemical processes. Once you have this electron, this 21st century fire, there's nothing you can't do. Nothing. And think of these little rods like little mini fuel rods, little reactor rods. They're not radioactive. So you can energize these and charge them up. So I'm going to use that to make electrical power in the future. You know, I wanted to show you guys that and share that with you. Using phosphors. It's like a firefly, think of that. Go ahead and shut down. But that's how it's going to work. Exciting phosphors. Using light. So don't forget, everyone, the best things in life are free. And these media snakes and these liars and this New World Order and these non-renewables, these days, their day's coming. They're washed up. These guys are finished. So hang in there. We're gonna move our cities underwater. That's coming. So we have the technology, and we will get this done, guys. It's going to take us a little bit longer, you know. Got these snakes in the way.